Hey guys, Zach here and welcome to a new video. Today we have the ninja changes on Global Lab or the rework, and I have brought Hans with me today. Thanks Hans for joining, and
Hello, hello.
he will guide us through the ninja changes today for pre-awakening, awakening, and succession. Succession is not that much, so pre-awakening and awakening will probably be the majority, but you can find this in the timestamps. And with that being said, Hans, so let's start with the pre-awakening.
Hey, yeah, so we're going to start with the pre-awakening that affects both awakening and succession, but in some cases it's only the awakening kit that it has more substance on. The first change is going to be Ghost Step. So Ghost Step is now a full iframe. No longer do we have the SA. This is going to be pretty good. It's going to allow to dodge grabs a lot more consistently. What we're hoping for is going to allow us to transition to other classes more safe, it's other skills more safely as well. I think, yeah, Zex is showing off now. So it's all iframe, no super armor. The next one, that's a pretty big change. The first three are pretty big changes in my opinion, good changes. So the next one is Suicide Fall, the pre-awakened ninja grab. It now has a lot faster animation. So you see it right there. Pretty fast. If you put an attack speed buff on top of you, it's even faster as well. So if you do something like Ghost Claw, then into Ghost Step or Shadow Slash, into the grab, you could just see that that's going to give you a lot more potential to outplay XVX scenarios. And then the third big one would be the block jump change. So block jump now has an extra 2 summons, and you got a couple of choices here. When you come out of block jump, you can do your regular block jump, go directly behind the opponent as normal, or you could do left or right in your joystick, which would be A or D, and then that will allow you to come out at a angle, or the angle in which you're looking at when you activate the skill. And for succession, it's going to have a lot more uses between the alert stance cancels and your smoke screen and how beheading cancel work. And for awakening, when you're doing the actual awaken stance and you come to one of these sides, you're outside of grab range and you can do what's it called, the Bon Katana for floats, and it's going to have a lot of other outplay potential with Murderous and other bits and bobs. So that's going to be pretty big in terms of 1v1, 1vx, xvx, and probably large scale. Is there anything you want to comment on these three, Zach?
Yeah, one thing. When you decide to switch positions with block jump, you can't aim behind the target anymore. So you can't go behind the target. If you can still use the normal block jump to just get
Yeah,
behind
you
him and
can.
stiff him, but you can't switch positions and then go behind him again. That's not possible. So
Yeah, that'd be
uh,
pretty broken if they
that will
allowed
be
us to
pretty.
do
But
that.
I think you should mention that because I think people. So
Yeah,
you
for
can
sure.
still do the
So,
normal one, but
yeah,
not when you decide to go.
it gives you more choice, and it makes it a lot harder for people to punish your
To
block jump
punish the
now.
block jump, yes, it
Yeah.
would definitely harder to punish the block jump. Outside of if you just use the normal version, it will still be easy. But if you're actually outplaying people with that in some way, it will be way harder to see where the
Yeah.
ninja will come out. So this is for block jump. Next change.
So the next couple of changes, these two, no one's really going to use it. You could put floor sweeping and throw kick on your hotbar. I mean,
Yeah.
it is a choice if you want to do it, but you don't have hotbar space, so I wouldn't recommend it. Next one is the shadow clone change. So there's a few things we can combine here. They've removed the option for you to press A or spacebar after Shadow Stomp to do Shadow Clone. You can no longer do that flow. You can only activate Shadow Clone from your hotbar now, and to activate Shadow Clone from your hotbar, you no longer need the buff. You don't get a buff for doing Shadow Stomp anymore, which means you can use that skill independently without being forced into another to doing Shadow Stomp prior. And what they've done is, since they've taken away the flow from the end of Shadow Stomp when you press A or spacebar at the end, now it does Smoke Screen. Again, this is adding a lot more outplay potential, especially in succession where you have the alert stance cancels and the beheading cancel. But even in awakening, this added extra option is pretty big. And then allowing you to separate the shadow clones gives you a lot more combo variety. It also has down smash, so there's different ways you can use it within your combos. You can use it prior to your second CC, or you can try to fit it at the end of your combo and try and get a down smash on there. So if you do get a down smash, you can end up doing an extra skill for damage. So
The animation is also new, right? It's way more like AOE.
it's wider. Yeah,
It's
it's a lot
wider.
wider than it was before. And there might be some stuff you can cancel the animation with, like what's it called? The Shuriken Throw, not Shuriken Throw, but The left bumper, Malice. So if you do Shadow Clone and
wait.
instantly press Malice, you might be able to.
I think I haven't.
You might be able
Malice.
to cancel the animation.
Yep, I haven't skilled Malice. I hate that you do.
Yeah, it asks you every time.
It's super annoying, man. Alright.
So if you do Shadow Clone and then instantly press.
Yeah.
So you could do a cancel animation so it can increase the speed. And I remember Yellow, I think he was saying all the damage comes out. It's not like Blade Spin when you cancel it, you lose out on damage. So that's how you can incorporate it before your re-CC, and you can always incorporate it at the end of your combos to try and optimize for the down smash. That's all those changes put together. Anything you want to add on to that?
No. I think that AoE changed pretty big. I mean, even if it's unsafe, depending on your position, you can just throw it in. I actually have to see how the damage is on live service, but I think that's not a bad change at all.
Yeah,
Also, you can
I mean,
use
it's an extra input for your hotbar, which does make hotbar management a bit
yeah,
difficult.
for console players, that's definitely a thing they need to work on. But yeah,
right now on Awakening, there's already stuff that we can't fit on our hotbar, and it's going to get a bit worse later on. There's a bad change that's going to be coming up in a little bit. Another one is you can now use Fatal Blow and Heart Aiming to cancel the Shadow Stomp animation. This is pretty massive for bursting people down and just putting more spice into your combos. The Fatal Blow one that Zek just did is only for Awakened Fatal Blow. This does not work for Succession Fatal Blow. So you can't do like movement Fatal Blow in Succession into Shadow Stomp. But you can do it with Awakening. This is, again, it's a huge amount of combo variety. And another thing they've added as well, which we can talk about now, is the Heart Aiming can be spammed off cooldown. So you can just keep using Heart Aiming non-stop. Do you have it unlocked?
yeah, I have it unlocked.
Yeah, you do. Go to the right, I think is easier.
To the right?
Yeah, Shadow Slash right.
Yeah,
There you go.
I'm messing up a bit. I'm not a ninja
Yeah.
player, but...
It's
So,
fine. So-
you can spam your 50% accuracy skill for combos. Depending on how high the damage is, when it's on cooldown, it might be a really viable solution for evasion builds, right?
100%. In 1v1 scenarios, it's definitely, since you can use it 2 plus 3, 4 times, depending on what combos you want to do. If it does have good damage when it's off cooldown, or on cooldown, I should say, then 100%, yeah, it's going to be pretty massive for those evasion players. And with the versatility of being able to Shadow Stomp after it, it even allows Awakening more burst potential when your Awaken kit's on cooldown. So let's say you've caught someone, you've killed them with your Serpents and your the new skill Flashing Light. You get someone else and you grab them. You know, you can do like Blade Spin, Heart Aiming, Shadow Stomp for just crazy Heart Aiming, Shadow Stomp, Blade Spin for just crazy damage. So it allows a bit more potential for your combos and a lot more burst. So
It just says the damage is reduced in PvP on cooldown, so it's definitely not the same. But how high it really is, we have to see when it comes live. But I think it's a nice change. It will maybe fix some issues Ninja had with evasion targets.
yeah,
Well, maybe
well, if the damage is consistent enough when it's on cooldown, 100%, it's going to be huge for combo damage. So the next one here specifically for Awakened. When you're in pre-awakening, you can now Ghost Step into Smokescreen, and you can also Shadow Slash into Smokescreen as well. They've removed the Heart Aiming cancel. So before, when you did Shadow Slash A or Slash Spacebar, it would do Heart Aiming. Now it would do Ghost Greeting. Ghost Greeting. It would do Smokescreen.
Smokescreen,
So
yeah.
that's really good. Pretty big changes for pre-awakening. A lot more movement potential right there, and outplay potential for the awakened kit. Succession already had access to this. The controversial change that I don't know any ninja that likes it is removing brace from your left trigger A, which is your shift spacebar. Yeah, so you can't do that anymore. You have to hotbar to use it.
Yeah.
On console, bro, like you need to put it in a ring menu or some shit. I don't know how often I'm going to be able to use this
You
from now on.
can use it in Awakening still, but you can't
Yes,
use
that's a good
Brace
point.
in pre-Awakening anymore with an input. It's really bad. I don't know why they did this, but yeah.
So
I think
hopefully they'll either
wasn't,
revert that change or give us another skill.
Wasn't there like a bug with Brace and Smokescreen and Suck?
So there was brace into smoke. Well, when you do brace, sometimes it will take your cooldown of brace, but do smoke screen instead. So you lose both the cooldowns and you don't get the regen from the brace.
Yeah, exactly that. I mean,
So if it's to fix that, like fuck fixing it. Just give us back the original. Like, I'd rather have the
I
bugged
think
version.
they need to find another workaround here.
Yeah.
They can't just take away a skill input because there's a bug with the two skills.
Yeah.
Then
What I'm hoping is best case scenario. They're replacing a skill. They're giving us a new skill there. That's what I'm
Maybe.
hoping for. But we'll see.
all right,
Um,
next skill or
I'm
next.
scrolling down a little bit. There's some changes in the sprint motion to make things smoother. Floor sweeping, if you spam it, it's not as fast anymore. That's whatever. You can call it a nerf if you want, but it's a very rarely used skill.
I think
so this
some-
next one here, yeah, some people might be upset. It made it easier to try and get a down smash at the end of a combo. But
Yeah.
still, it is what it is. So this next skill, they gave us a pull skill for Ninja. Both Succession and Awaken have access to it, but you have to jump and then throw a shuriken.
Oh, so
You got to do like a sideways jump.
oh yeah.
There you go.
So it looks like that. Yeah.
Yeah, you can
It's
also
like
do double
smoke
jump,
bomb.
but I wouldn't do double jump. Yeah, I don't know why we have to jump. Just reduce the particle effect so it's not so blinding. And just let us do that without jumping, and maybe just put a cooldown on that version of the throw. So
To be honest though, the range is not too big. If I throw it here, it's not hitting the mobs. So you really need to hit that thing in packs.
yeah, you gotta be pretty goddamn precise. I don't know why they're making us jump before we do this shit, dude. Like, what are you doing? But yeah, I mean, at least it's better than nothing. I'll
That's
say
right.
that
Yeah,
much.
it's better than nothing.
It is better than nothing, but it's not good. not by any stretch. Not by
It's
my
not like
standards anyway.
Sage. Yeah.
It's not like a lot of classes. Especially some of the reworks that you've seen. This is a good pull skills added. They've also allowing you to lock shuriken throw. So this is going to be pretty useful for PvP. Not every ninja is going to lock it, because some ninjas do like using shuriken throw to cancel smokescreen and using it to also cancel shadow stomp animation. Me personally, I don't. Now that we have the shadow slash change, especially in Awakening, I'm always just going to be using Ghost Step or Shadow Slash to go into smokescreen. So I don't mind losing that cancel. And I always Ghost Step Stomp. Like, I barely ever, if ever, do what's it called? Shuriken Throw Stomp. So for me, I'm going to be locking it. Because what happens sometimes when you're trying to do forward right trigger to get into Ninja Step, it will throw a shuriken first sometimes instead of doing Ninja Step. And that will also then drain your stamina. So if this happens when you're low stamina, you'll do a shuriken throw, lose some stamina, and then you might not have enough stamina to do Ninja Step. So for me, I'm going to be locking it, especially in Succession. It has some bad inputs where it sometimes prioritizes back shuriken throw instead of red rain. So for me, I'm definitely going to be locking it, but I can see some ninjas maybe a bit reluctant to do that.
So
Now-
coming to the next one then.
That's all of the changes for the
pre-awakening.
pre-awakening kit. So now we're in Awakening. There's a lot of PvE stuff here.
One thing
the-
though, one thing I want to mention. If you're watching as a Kuno player, all those changes we just mentioned are also applying for Kuno.
Yes.
Like most of the changes, I think also the cancel with smokescreen, the pull skill, the block jump, everything applies for Kuno as well. So this is for Ninja and Kuno. Just saying that if Kuno players watching.
100%. So for Awaken Ninja, the changes, the biggest change for Awaken Ninja is being able to Murderous. If you put Murderous on your hotbar, you can now Murderous from pre-awakening to awakening. This is really good. At the same time, we don't have ring menu space, and this is a must-have on your ring menu. So I'm happy we got it. I would have rather maybe had the new skill Flashing Light to just let us go into awakening, but I mean, some people say that's too strong. But this is actually kind of crazy for stealth engages, because if you're stealth engaging now, you can go from stealth into murderous into serpents. It was actually kind of hard to get into serpents efficiently.
Yeah, that
from
would be
stealth
really
before.
good, man.
So that's kind of massive for that engage. So that's just kind of big. I'm not gonna lie, that's pretty huge. Next one, not so much. There's more PVE. So Mark Explosion, they reduced the cooldown from 17 seconds to 12 seconds. They added 3 hits to the Blade Strike. So it's going to do some more damage. I don't think this is going to be enough to make it viable in PvP, because it's still too slow. You can independently use it from the hotbar as well. This is another skill that takes you from pre-awakened to awakened. That's not a change, that's already just a part of the skill. So you can see there, the animation is still pretty slow. Yeah, for PvE, that's going to be good, I guess. If it does enough damage with these 3 extra hits, it's going to be pretty useful for clearing. It's been
Yeah,
changed.
probably. The damage is not bad.
Yeah, for sure. So vacuum slash is the next one that's been changed. So it's still
Vacuum
just forward
slash.
guard. It's B.
Yeah,
So it's still forward guard just for the first 2 hits, but what they've done is they've changed the last hit to do this like AOE skill. I don't know how useful this is going to be for PvP, but for PvE that's pretty good. That's going to make that more viable for PvE for sure. Sudden decapitation attack range has been increased. So this again is PvE. PvP, this is not a skill unless you're really struggling on cooldowns. You're going to be using sudden decap. That's back right trigger.
Well, sudden deep cap was this one, right?
Yeah, that's sudden decap. So you can. That's no, it's corrupt sub dance.
Oh, corrupt. I was about to say.
Back right trigger. Yeah, so that's sudden decap. They've slightly changed the animation. If you do it from when you raise your sword by pressing right trigger first, it does like a quick version of sudden decap. I think it's a little bit faster with the changes. Yeah. And if you go from seamless as well, it's got a bit. You can see the AOE a bit better if you do seamless into sudden decap. You can see like it's got a bit more width to it right there from
looks
animation.
Cool. It looks cool.
Yeah, it looks nice. It's going to definitely help with the PvE. I'd say do the same thing for crop sword dance. That would then make the PvE flow a lot better. So flow execution. This is kind of huge for PvP. They've actually increased the range. You can see someone with flow execution now. If you go pretty far away from the dummy and do flow execution, you should see that that's kind of big.
The range is pretty huge now.
Yeah, and that's a knockdown as well. So this allows you to do a lot of outplays, to re-CC someone, reposition, full execution knockdown. Then you got plenty of time to evade some incoming attacks and then burst them down. Especially now that we have the heart aiming and shadow stomp. So definitely a great change for that. Chaos Spree has been changed from 25 seconds to 15 seconds. This is a PvE change, and even then, I don't think people are going to be using Chaos Spree for PvE anyway. But I guess you could put a tier 3. Right? Yeah, you could put a tier 3 add-on on it, but it is way too slow. So
yeah,
it is what it is. It is a cooldown reduction, so it is a buff. We've talked about block jump already, and that's everything in the Awaken kit. So it's just Succession now.
That's everything for Awaken. Nothing else has changed. Okay.
No, that is it.
That is it. Okay. Core skills are the same, right? They didn't change anything about core skills.
Yeah, the core skills are all exactly the same. They haven't touched any of the rebombs. I hope they're going to do that. I hope they're going to touch our passive. These changes are all good outside of Brace. After seeing all the crazy changes that other classes get, I definitely do want to see more for the Awakened Ninja in the future. Maybe if they can do something to remove the gap in that skill they just did, the what's it called?
Silent charge.
The raise silent charge. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
So if they can remove the gap of silent charge, that'd be great. Yeah, that's basically it at the moment for now until further update.
So then we will quickly spec to Succession. There's not much in Succession. We will still just show it to you. And I will do a cut here so you don't have to see that we will spec. So see you in a bit. Alright guys, here we are in the Succession kit, and as I said before, Succession changes haven't changed, like there's not a lot for Suck Ninja. However, all the pre-awakened stuff that we talked about earlier is also applying to Suck. So you still have the block jump changed, shadow close changed, the hard aiming cooldown, use on cooldown with the shadow storm cancel. So stuff like that's also here. But what got changed exactly for Suck now? Hanzo, tell us.
I hope they're all ready for the immense amount of Succession change. We're going to be here for hours, dude. So the first change is Dark Frenzy gets an extra 10% crit hit rate, taking up to 50%, and it goes from 628% per hit to 984% per hit. So it's a damage increase. In my eyes, it looks like it's more for PvE. But that being said, if it does do decent damage now in PvP, it's good to add pressure onto people whilst you're forward guarding, and if you can do some forward guard damage to finish people off in XVX, 1VX, and large scale, then it is going to be a good change, but it just depends on what the damage is going to be on live. And the next one is if you do Red Rain, you can cancel into Dark Frenzy by using back right click, which would be back right bumper on console. And
it's not working though.
Yeah, it's not working on Global Labs. Zek right there just did the regular back Y after Dark Frenzy. This is PvE specific only change. This is not anything. No one's doing this in PvP unless you're really far away from your opponent and you just want to get some stam regen. That's the only time you're ever going to do that. But it doesn't cancel red rain any faster, as far as I'm aware. So it's really just.
It's a minor thing.
Yeah, it's to reduce the APM for mainly PC players, since right click is easier to press than
Probably.
C for them. Yeah. And that's it. That is the immense amount of succession changes.
So that was Suck. I mean, Suck Ninja pretty. It's strong, but we will probably see more changes in the future when people give their feedback to it. And this brings us to our last point. Hanzo, what do you want to see for Ninja in future? Also regarding not only the changes to the kit itself, also regarding the passive changes that will probably come. And what do you want to see for Ninja?
Yeah, so in terms of passive, if they want to keep the passive the same as it is now, just up the numbers. So currently it's 0.25% per other level, every other level for melee evasion. Make that 1% all evasion, or at least 0.5% all evasion. Right now it's pretty freaking useless, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And then there's an accuracy buff as well. If you could maybe just increase that accuracy buff in the passive to maybe 0.5% or 1%. Is it 0.25 currently?
For what?
For the accuracy that you get.
Oh yeah, it's,
0.25.
0.25, yeah.
So change that to 0.5 or 0.75 or 0.1, just more accuracy that way. If not, if you don't want to give us more accuracy that way, give us an accuracy buff skill that we can self-buff with. I'd still want to see that for Ninja. You know, some people will tell me that's too strong. I say, no, it's fine, dude. Give it to us. Goddamn need it. They have allowed us to bypass this this need in 1v1s with the heart aiming change.
Yeah.
But outside of the 1v1s, I'd like to have more consistency in Serpents for Awakening, and in the Succession kit in general would be nice to be a bit tankier, as it's not as easy to evade damage consistently on Succession, in my opinion, as it is on Awakening, because you don't have access to those forward cards. Other changes I'd like to see for Succession specifically. So right now, Zek, if you go to a dummy and do Ghost Greeting into Black Moonlight, that's forward Y for Black Moonlight, and left trigger, right bumper forward for Ghost Greeting.
Right, wrong one. Wait a second. That was the debuff. Was that? No. What was
forward? Oh, LTY, sorry, not forward Y.
I was about to say it's.
My bad. So currently, that version, if you can do Ghost Greeting, it cancels the float for PvP on the Black Moonlight and does stiff only. If they can allow that to go from Fatal Blow as well, so you could do Fatal Blow and then cancel the Red Moonlight animation. So instead of float, it does stiff. That would give us a lot more combo potential and allow us to fit in Fatal Blow earlier in the combos to get a 10 AP buff. For Awaken specifically, I would like to see the new skill, Flashing Light, to take us from pre-awakened into awakened. We talked about earlier, Silent Charge being a full iframe. We're going to have to see if this has already happened, but if it's not in Succession, Ghost Step into Shadow Slash. I want that to be a full, fully protected. Hopefully with the new changes to Ghost Step, that is the case, but I haven't seen anyone prove it yet, so we need to wait on that a little bit.
So for everyone, he meant there's a gap between those two skills. Apparently there's a gap.
No, not apparently. There is a gap. If you get a tamer on
apparently.
server, no, it's not apparently. If you do that into a multi-hit CC, you'll get CC'd 100% of the time unless you CC. Okay. So, besides that, Air Smash being removed from back left bumper. What's it called? That skill, Shuriken Flight. That would be nice. Yeah. So you can get more consistent damage in last skill.
Air Smash is annoying on that skill.
Yeah, it is annoying on that skill for sure. But I mean, there's some other stuff that I'm probably not thinking of. I've wrote a lot of stuff down. A crit rate buff would be nice. Somewhere in the kit as well. They'll up the damage of Blade Spin and Shadow Storm. I think I don't know. Is there anything you want to see, Zach?
No. I'm a bit surprised that Ninja got so little. I don't think they will in the future, since this is the first patch. I'm not talking changes in, I mean like mechanical change. Like if you look at Musa, for example, they changed them mechanically a lot. but the ninja is the same. So they added some
It's
flows.
just block jump.
They no.
Mechanical change.
Yeah, exactly. Only the block jump mechanic really changed.
Yeah.
And you can argue that also Shadow Claw mechanic did change. The rest is like more flows. This is a bit bigger, a bit more like.
It's more quality of life than just.
Yeah, but
touch-ups.
ninja is already a strong class, so I think if they change the passives and just up the passives to like the meta today and not from 6 years ago, then I think ninja will be a viable class, even with all those new classes, with all those new reworks. Because most classes with the rework still work the same, and I think ninja will still be a really strong assassin that will still do really good. So yeah.
I mean, the last couple of things real quick is give us brace back or give us a new skill instead of brace, and let us pull without jumping. Like, obviously, those two, I think we talked about it earlier, but just pop it in here again.
Yeah, but then I think we're done, right?
Yeah, that's it. That's I'm sure there's a lot more I can think of later, but for now, that's it. Yeah.
Alright guys, then thanks for watching. That was the ninja changes. If there's any super big changes in the future coming, we'll do another video or an update video. And with that being said guys, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye bye.